If you're paying attention to the free agency movers and shakers out there, you know. Mike Williams, big-time wide receiver from the LA Chargers, on the schedule to visit the Panthers this week.
Go on.
You know Michael Gallup, one-time number 2 wide receiver for the high-flying Cowboys.
Okay.
On the schedule to visit the Panthers this week. You know what I'm doing?
What's that?
I'm like here's the friend in the movie right after the main character gets divorced. And I'm just going, go out there, play the field. We're going to the club tonight. We're reintroducing. I'm telling the Panthers, flirt with everybody. Flirt with everybody. Go talk to every receiver you can. Let's go have fun. Talk to them. Why? They're going to be in town? Take them to dinner. I won't judge you. You know what I will judge you on?
What's that?
It's who you sign. I'm not going to judge you on who you talk to.
No, of course.
This one. Go. Sow your oats, right? Go nuts. Go crazy. Go out there, have a good time. No judgment, judgment-free zone. If you propose to one of them, I'm going to judge you. That's where I stand with the wide receiver market right now. They should chat with these guys. They need wide receivers desperately. So go find out what people are looking for. They shouldn't automatically bring them in and offer them a deal just because the player is interested. Right? Have a little bit more self-respect than that. Don't just say, oh, you want to play here? Here's the millions of dollars. How much do you want? Don't be desperate, but go out there and play the field. If I'm looking at Mike Williams would have to be cheap and be willing to take a short-term deal. Why? Because he's an injury-prone receiver that'll be 30 in October, and I don't think he's a perfect schematic fit for what Bryce Young wants to do long-term. That's not to say he might not be the best of the options available right now. But I'm not locking him up to say he's better than the options next season or the next season or the next season. Michael Gallup better have a clean, flawless bill of health if you're going to make any kind of long-term offer or any kind of offer at all. Why? Because they need him to be the deep threat. They have Adam Thielen to be a possession guy on comebacks and digs and deep crossers. They have Deontay Johnson to be the get-open-now guy. They need someone to be way down the field that can catch. I had to add that can catch because DJ Chark was here. He could be way down the field.
Oh, don't get me started.
So Michael Gallup, if you're going to bring him in, he better show that he's the Michael Gallup of 5 years ago and not the Michael Gallup that we've seen be limited in his role with the Dallas Cowboys. But again, take him to dinner. Talk to him. Spend a little bit of money, right?
Yeah.
I'm the friend telling you to flirt with everybody.
Take her to the NCAA tournament game.
There you go.
At the Spectrum Center.
I'm going, that lady down at the end of the bar is looking at you. Don't look now. I said don't look. All right, fine. Go talk to her. That's me right now. You need wide receivers. Why not talk to them all? You know what else you should do? Be at every wide receiver's pro day. Be at Texas's pro day for the 2 wide receivers there. Be at LSU. You're not going to get neighbors where you're picking, but why not go check it out? And Brian Thomas, you're not going to get him either, but go see it. Go to Michigan. Go to Oregon. Go to South Carolina. Go to North Carolina. Go to all of the pro days and talk to all of the receivers. Bring them in for top 30 visits. You have 6 picks. You get 30 visits. Talk to all the receivers. I'll judge you based on who you sign. I'll judge you based on who you draft. I'm not going to judge you based on who you talk to. And you need pass catchers. Heck, talk to all the tight ends. See if I care. I care as far as I hope you're turning over every stone, right? It'd be weird if you talk to one guy, right? I care in that, bring Mike Williams in. There are things I don't think are perfect fits with Mike Williams, but, let me know the investment. I'll put it this way. I don't think what Deontay Johnson brings to the table was exactly what the Panthers were looking for. But when you can get Deontay Johnson for Dante Jackson and a pick swap, suddenly I'm much more on board with the Deontay Johnson trade. Suddenly, I'm much more on board with he has flaws, but for the price. So maybe there's a situation like that. I might be saying, like, I don't know, Gallup, he's a little older, a little injury prone. Maybe he's not there. But if it's like, it's going to cost the league minimum, I'm going to go, you know what? I actually really like Michael Gallup. He could be a mentor for somebody like Jonathan Mingo. Talk to them all, like, see what they're expecting. Because sometimes sometimes you bring in a Gallup and you're like, you probably want to be like a top 3 wide receiver, right? Maybe he's like, you know what? At this point, I'm looking to add 4 more years to my career and pass on the knowledge that I've gained, and I understand due to X, Y, and Z, my market isn't going to be what it was a couple years ago. And as soon as you hear that kind of introspective and self-awareness, you're like, actually, you know what? I think there is a room, a spot for that guy in our wide receiver room. But the Panthers should talk to everybody. It's part of the fun of being a rebuilding team is you kind of need everything. Right? If you're the Chiefs, you're like, we need 2 specific things. We have room for nothing else. It doesn't make sense for us to talk to everybody because most people are just on the surface not a fit from the jump.
Yeah, you can be a lot more selective.
And you
when you're in
have
that position.
You can waste a lot more time looking at everything if there's like 2 needs, right? Actually, you know what it is? And I know this one because I get stuck in it every time. If I go to the supermarket and I need to do like a couple $100s of grocery shopping, like it's one of those days you open the refrigerator and you have like, 2 Sprites and an old like a Chick-fil-A sauce, and you're just like, this one, you open the cupboard and you're like empty. There's a couple boxes that are empty, and you're like, why didn't I throw these out when I emptied them? And you're like, I got to go do grocery shopping. It's going to be a ton. Guess what you do? You go up and down every aisle, right? You do the S curve all the way through, and you're tossing stuff in the grocery cart. But then there's times where you go and you're like, I need milk and I need eggs. Guess what you don't do? You don't go up and down every aisle, right? You just stay on the edges. You get the milk, you get the eggs, you head back to the car. The Panthers right now are grocery shopping and they need everything. So go up and down the aisle. Look at it. Take something off the shelf. Look at the ingredients. Put it back, right? Oh, I didn't realize how much sugar was in this. Put it back. Do the whole thing.
I hope they clip coupons.
Yeah, well, they have to do that also.
Yeah, they're going to have to do that. If you're going to fill all those needs, you're going to just coupon clip.
Depending on which grocery store you're at, look for the little tags that hang off that say, like, buy one, get one free. Like, but go up and down every aisle looking for what you need. When it comes to wide receivers, don't just go to the wide receiver aisle. Go to the tight end aisle. Go to the pass-catching running back aisle. Go to the kick returner aisle. Go see what's out there. If you're the Chiefs, you're like, I need a box of cereal and I need bacon, and because I got some friends that are going to be here on a morning and I got to be able to feed them. And then you go there, you get the 2, you go home. The Panthers could be in the grocery store for a while, listening to 90s hits.
Would they be better served as opposed to paying one of these guys a lot more money? Would they be better served to just draft someone at 33 or 39?
It depends. That's what you got to explore. You got to explore how much money they want.
Yeah.
Because sometimes somebody like a Gallup or a Williams might be like, hey, I need somewhere where I can have a role to bring my market back to where I think it should be. And in some cases I don't know what their contract situation is. They might be, hey, actually the Chargers are paying me a good amount of money this year. I need somewhere where I can go catch passes.
Well, it could be that, or maybe Carolina's looking in the sense of, you know what, if we're not competing this season, if we have a pretty good friendly contract, a team that, hey, we need a wide receiver because we had an injury and it's trade deadline. Hey, how about that 5th-round pick?
Or
something along those lines.
This is probably the more likely thought process for them. How much does this person help Bryce Young?
There's that too.
Right? If Mike Williams, you feel a jump ball guy is what he needs, there might be a high number they're willing to pay on a short-term deal. If you feel like he needs separation downfield and you have a healthy Gallup, maybe you do go that way. And maybe it's just everything about Bryce Young, which it should be anyway.